Hey, it's Justin from the Justin Scott and Spiegel Morning Show on 98 Rock in Baltimore, and you're listening to Hoppe Radio.
Is this even real life? I've been in radio for 2 years now. And before the Hoppe and Super Rich show, before Hoppe and Freeman, before Chi-Town and the Big Apple, I had an original co-host who I met
now you're
back
flying
in Harper.
through co-host, aren't you?
What?
You're flying through co-host.
Yeah, it shows something about me. And I met this guy during this boring 4-hour class we had to take 4 times. It was basically, welcome to Harper College. This is why this place sucks. And I became friends with this kid right away because I liked his vibe, and I brought him on as co-host. He was the co-host of the MANCave with Hoppe and Sack back on WHCM 88.3, Harper College Radio. Scott Sack Mosack, what is up, sir?
What up?
Dude, I haven't heard your voice. I know I just said this off air, but I'll say this to the listeners. I have not heard your voice since 2013 because the show was from September 2012 to like January 2013 because you took a class that interfered with the time slot. So, dude, I haven't heard your insane voice, dude, in 2 years. How is everything going?
Dude, it is great. It is awesome. I didn't drink tonight, so, I just came on the show perfect, ready to go. And, hey, listeners, me and Hoppe used to own it back in the day. We would give reports about football. It was just so good, so accurate, fantasy,
Oh, yeah.
Off the hook.
Dude, we used to break the rules back in the day. How about, we would just, I would go on the air and say the word whore, and now that's fine to say here because we're on the overnight hours.
At Harper, we were terrified we were going to get into trouble. And
yeah.
Like, literally, that garbage of, what was that guy's name?
Dave.
Dave. God, that guy didn't help us at all. Just would break down, and we were like, Dave, come out, and like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll do this, and he wouldn't freaking show up.
And then we saw Dave, twice in 6 months. I mean, Dave was a nice guy. I appreciate that Dave got me on the air. Like, he's the guy that got me in my in radio. But, here's what happened, Super Rich.
So lazy.
Dude, he was so lazy because he had, knee surgery in August. So, he would show up twice a month and say, sorry, I couldn't make it in. I had rehab for my knee surgery. Well, then, if you can't make it to WHCM, find a backup program director. We're these two 19-year-old kids trying to do something, and this guy's like, oh, my knee hurts. Remember that? Or now, how about this? How about the one time during the day when it was Obama versus Mitt Romney?
Oh, man, we used to fight it out, man.
I was such a dumbass. I mean, I'm never going to vote again. I'm not kidding. And I was so for Obama, and you were so for Romney, and I'm not saying either one of the guys is right. But I had so little prep. I was just going on the air calling Mitt Romney a rich douchebag, and I had no facts to back it up. And you had all these facts that could potentially be against Obama. So you won that argument, and I'm getting mad. I'm all caffeinated.
Oh, my God, I won an argument against this?
This is Sack right here, man. And now, when I first met you, back in that class, I just liked your vibe right away. But I didn't like the vibe of that class whatsoever.
God, that class was weird. The first thing we talked about was sexual harassment. I'm like, oh, God, this is just going to be one of those classes.
And, half the kids in the class had autism, and we talk about weather.
That was weird. They told me at the beginning of that year that class, ladies and gentlemen who are listening, we took a class that literally they lied to us. They said that this class would be to help you get ready for college. As in, they would teach you how to organize. They would teach you how to understand the tests that were coming up and how to talk to the teachers.
That's what they told me.
They were like, okay, good, sounds great. We show up, the first thing they say is, all right, here's sexual harassment papers.
No.
And,
yeah. Or how about when the cop came in?
Yeah, the cop came. All right, guys, I'm here to talk to you about sexual harassment. And then he talked about sexual harassment for a half hour. And then we went outside. And then remember Chester? Chester was this Asian kid.
Oh my!
He was such a nice kid, but he hopped in the cop car, and the cop said, "All right, go ahead, play with the radio, play with whatever you want." Chester, like, rammed on the horn, was playing with the lights, and he went on the loudspeaker that goes out, that projects out the cop car, and he's just like, "Hello, stop moving, everybody! Hello, stop moving!" And it was like, oh my god.
Here was the thing, that kid had like autism or something. He was really hyper. Like, I feel like he was born and his mom had like 9 cups of coffee, and that's just how he is in life. Because that kid would jump off the wall, or that was bad parenting. Because that kid would jump off the wall, he's honking on the cop's like,
I know.
horn. Like, why did the cop let him in the front seat?
He probably would have driven away. Like, honestly, I was worried.
Or he kept talking to that one girl. Who was that
he
one?
asked her out.
Wait, who was it?
Oh, gosh, I forgot her name. We added her on Facebook, and she was weird.
Wasn't it Sam or something?
No, it was a chick's name, not a dual name.
Dude, he was obsessed with that one girl, and he would try to flirt with her. It's like this autistic Asian kid. I'm not laughing that he had autism. It's just like he was so hyper, and we're just like, why are we in this class? And then the other part about the class was, it was like beginning of kindergarten, super rich. We had to do an icebreaker, and we had to go around.
Oh, I freaking hate icebreakers so much.
Are you a Cubs fan?
Right?
Yeah, Sack, are you a Cubs fan? So am I. Sign the sheet. But you had to get everyone to sign it.
Yeah, that's what they do like in 3rd grade.
Right? It was, and then they said they would teach us financial stuff in that class too, which was another deal breaker. I was like, all right, I'll sign up. But the financial stuff was literally, they handed out a piece of paper. There was like Fairy Wonderland and like Candyland and like all these made up places. All right, we're gonna start bidding at like $100. It was like, oh, wait, what in the world are we doing? And then Chester was like, $500, $500, $600, $600, $700. It was just like, oh, God.
Or how about that one kid who would talk about the weather? He's like, on this day in 2011, the precipitation was at 45%, blah, 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 blah. And you're like...
There's a term for people like that. I learned about that in my psychology class. I don't remember what it's called. I think it means you're a savant or something. That's what he means.
Really?
He's a weather savant, yeah.
Or
would he be like really good on air, or would he be?
No, that just means you know too much about one thing. That's weather.
When you're able to like say like, oh, the weather was so and so on this date, like then you got a lot of issues.
I can't even tell you what the weather was like today.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Sack. How about this? Moving on from the class. No, wait, real quick before we get to more about our show and how we met in class. How about when we spent 4 hours watching some movie that was like a made-for-TV movie, and we're just eating pizza, and we're just like, this is the easiest hours.
I think I fell asleep during that movie.
Yeah, you did. And then there was that one girl I was trying to like hit on, the one that smoked. Her name was Desiree. Dude, she wanted nothing to do with me at all, and I had this like maniac loud laugh, the same one I do now, but like. She wanted nothing to do with the Hoppe, man.
Dude, you were just too good for her.
That's what it was. And then when I saw that she would be like smoking a cig outside with all the weirdos at Harper outside the library, I'm like, yeah, that's a turnoff immediately.
Yeah, I completely agree. And remember that, all right, last thing about the class. All right, so we did this one exercise, literally where they turned on, it was like, crap, what was it? It was a CD player. They put a CD in. It was for relaxation. And literally, it was the most sexual relaxation tape I've ever heard. And like the whole time I was just laughing. And everybody was in the room just like staring at me.
How do you remember that? Funny. Holy crap.
God, that was funny. They were like, now breathe. Breathe harder.
And the best.
Like, oh, God, what am I listening to?
Here's the best part about that. Me, you, and Desiree were the only people that were laughing. Everyone else is taking it seriously. And you hear everyone in class, now breathe louder. Everyone's taking it seriously, and we're just laughing like douchebags. Or how about when we did our radio show? We had one fan, and I keep in touch with him. And he's one of the greatest guys I've ever met. One of the most sweetest, caring, humble kids our weatherman, Will Ogilvy. I love the kid with all my heart. I'll never forget. I'm doing this radio show, or we're doing a show, and it's during a music break, and I'm not so sure about the segment. Like, my speech was bad back then. I'm like, whatever, this show's going all right. I go outside to get a drink of water, and I hear this knocking, and it's like I hear this knocking, and I go, what is that, Dave? Did I say something? I didn't say anything. And it's Will, and he had like a portable radio, and he's like, I love listening to WHCM 88.3, and I love the MANCave with Hoppe and Sack. And right when you hear that, even if you just had one fan, Sack, even if the fact that our reception didn't reach the parking lot of Woodfield or it didn't reach the cemetery that's across the street at Harper, the fact that we had one listener who I keep in touch with, dude, that made it worth it, you know?
It was Star 69 or 67, too. That was another fan of ours.
Oh, yes. Well, now she goes by the name Sperm Sponge. Super Rich is aware of Sperm Sponge. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She'll like all our tweets. We had two fans. It was Sperm Sponge and Will Ogilvy, the weatherman. That described our show. Sperm Sponge and Will Ogilvy. I love you, Will. Or how about when I met DJ Moore in Wheeling, and I'm like, hey, man, do you want to come on my radio show?
On the radio show.
No, but here's what happened. You didn't come with me, but I go up there to meet him. He must have thought I was some crazy kid. I go, I had this radio show called the Hoppe and Sack Show. Would you want to come on and talk about the Bears? And he goes, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll do it for Make-A-Wish Foundation. I don't know. So we get him on the show. And me and him are like going back and forth through DMs. He's like, yeah, I'll call in at 2:30. So I'm all ready to play the song. And he calls at like 2:24. And I get the phone. Dave was a nice guy. Yeah, Dave got us on the air. But Dave also taught me, or he never taught me how to answer the phone. So I'm trying to put him on. We go on. I have this like paper of like things to ask him, like, of course.
I can't read Hoppe's handwriting.
Yeah, why didn't I type it up? This wasn't like 1942. And even if it was 1942, there was a thing called a typewriter. So there's no reason ever for me to write these questions. I don't know why I typed them out. And you were looking at it when I gave you the questions, and your eyes told me, what is this trash? I can't even read it. So we get DJ Moore on the show. Well, what's up? This is DJ Moore, the quarterback for the Bears. What's up, guys? And it's going all right. We asked him one or two questions. And what was the one you asked him?
It took me forever to ask him. I was like, oh, shoot, I don't know what I'm talking about.
It was about Lovie Smith at halftime. Does that ring your bell?
Yeah. And something about that. He answered the same question. Like,
I think it was at halftime. What did Lovie Smith say to you guys to get you guys pumped up and you guys won the game? And you asked that. And then I go, so at halftime, you guys were down. What did Lovie Smith say to you?
And then he's just like, you know, man. And he was so chill about it. He was such a nice guy. So.
Or, how about, what do you call it? Oh, yeah, we both kept saying, thank you for coming on in radio. That's called resetting, but a normal show goes, this is DJ Moore from the Bears on the Hoppe and Sack Show. But no, we go, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. Now, what is your take on Jake Cutler? Thank you so much again for coming on the show. What is your take on Brian Urlacher's great season? Thank you for coming. We kept saying that. I was like, what the hell is this trash?
And then, like, we had, like, 10 more questions to go. I was like, well, thank you for coming on, man. It was a pleasure having
Was
you
that,
on.
were you the one that did that?
Yeah, and you were looking at me like, what are you doing?
Here's the best part. I use this site called dar.fm. It's like digital audio recording or something where it records radio, whatever. And I use it now to record shows in different cities that I can't hear. But I got them to add the WHCM Listen Live thing online so you could record it, and that's how I would record the shows and put them on Spreaker, the podcast site. Yeah. The site works like 99.9% of the time, Super Rich and Sack. The site always works. But, of course, the one time, when you have a Bears cornerback on the show, of course, the one time a guest was ever on WHCM 88.3 is when the site didn't record the first half of the show. So you have like the last 5 minutes of our interview, and it's him answering the same question, and then it's you just saying goodbye. So we don't even have the audio.
Oh, gosh. I'm assuming you guys are doing it. Am I allowed to say that I'm drunk on the radio?
Yeah, you're turned up because you're on the air. If I were drunk here, that'd be a problem, kid.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm, like, super hammered, so I'm only half, like, sure that this conversation is actually happening right now.
Yeah, you're like, is this real life? Am I really on the radio? Or, dude, how about when I would use Will for some bits, and he was so much fun on the air, and we did the Will Ogilvy dating game, and now if Will is listening, Will, I love you. You're one of my good friends. But I loved having him on the Will Ogilvy dating game, and this was during the Christmas season, and I had Hoppe TV set up back then, but it was awful, because that's when I had bad acne, so it's just me, and Sack's in the other room. So with Hoppe TV, it's just me talking, and it's Sack in the other room, so you can barely hear Sack. And it shows me and Will. And I asked him, what do you want in a girl? Like, I'm trying to get girls to call in. What about this? What do you think of girls in yoga pants? Girls with short shorts? And then I had this pun that made Will laugh so hard. I'll send you the audio because I have it. I said something to Will like, now it's Christmas time. Are there going to be some ho-hos? They're going to come visit you? It was one of the worst puns ever, but the kid was dying laughing, and I was just like...
No, that's pretty funny, actually.
And I think I'm like, are there going to be some ho-hos under the Christmas tree? And his face, Will, I love you, but your face turned as red as a fire hydrant. It was so funny. Oh, my God.
Good times at Harper, right?
Dude, we got to get you on the show during the week because we do a show at our school from 2 to 4 p.m. It's the Edge on air.com. They play like music that you'd hear like on Q101, but we just do a talk show for 2 hours. You can listen live. We got to get you on to break down things, or me and you do a side like podcast or something, dude. Because, man, back then that show had so much potential. Like Hoppe and Super Rich is blowing up, but I want to do something where you call in, man, because that was way too much fun. I had too much of an ego. The one thing that did hurt the show, I think you were sort of caught off guard because I'm sort of edgy on the year and you're more of a diehard sports fan. Like even Super Rich, when he first met me, he's into sports, and I'm here saying that girls are whores because they are like the Kardashians. So I think I caught you a bit off guard when I would be edgy and you're like, oh no, we're going to get fined by the FCC. But now I think the show would be good because there was that one time I'm walking you to the car, or no, not like that, but we're walking to our cars in the parking lot and you had XM radio and I'm like, listen to Opie and Anthony. And of course it's the one segment when Anthony's going off on like black people. So then you're like, is this what Ryan wants to be? So my point is, we got off on the right foot, but then my big ego...
we were good. We were good all the way through. I have no regret.
We got to get you on, dude. This is so much fun having you on, man. Because, like, I was on for 2 more months, so it wouldn't have mattered. But here's the reason why I left WHCM. There was these new shows that were, like, showing up, and they wanted me to go to, like, a meeting every single week. And it was, like, right after school, like, 5 p.m. So I would have to wait around school for 5 hours. And I'm like, can't you have it at least at a time when it like comes in the like middle so that everyone can make it? But no, I had to mess with my schedule because I got promoted as program director, and I was going to have a new logo, Hoppe and Sack doing live broadcasts from the library or from the main area outside where everyone smoked. Like I was trying to do live broadcasts, and then that one girl who we're not going to talk about took my job. I guess she went to Harper for like 5 years, Super Rich. Went to Iowa for like 6 months, didn't do well. So then she came back to Harper and took my gig. I was supposed to be a program director. I was going to get paid. I was going to do everything, get a new website. And I'll never forget, were you there for this, Sack? I think you were there for this. We're in the main room, and I hear a knocking. I'm not sure if you're here for this, but I'll tell you anyway. And I hear a knocking. And I go, who is that? Will? Is that Dave? I think I just thought it was Will. And I open up the door, and I see this girl named Pixie. That was her on-air name. I've never seen this girl in my life. And I go, can I help you? And in her mind, she's the boss. And she's like, can I help you? What are you doing here? And I'm like, oh, crap. And she's like, I'm the program director. And my quote was, I'm the program director. So right then, I knew something was up. Do you remember that at all?
I don't think I was there for that.
And it was not good at all. Did you ever meet her, our program director?
Thank God no, because she sounds awful.
I think you were there afterwards, because I think you took a Christmas break or went somewhere, and then, like, your class, because you, like, joined a class late, and it was the one class you could take, and it interfered with our show. Then I had Neil Dwyer, who I keep in touch with, and we did Chi-Town in the Big Apple. So I think that was after you left. But, dude, I will never forget that. I was there for 6 more weeks, but here's why I left. They wanted me to play 11 songs an hour. That's like 55 minutes of radio, and then have me talk for 4 minutes, and then you have to play a minute of PSAs, and then the you're listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Harper College Radio, and it's board of people who work here. Like how long that thing was like a minute long. So they wanted me to talk for 3 minutes, and I'm like, screw this. I'll do a podcast in my room, and then that's how I got on here. I got picked up. So, Sack, it's like our show had so much potential, but for kids who never cracked on the radio mic, man, that was so much goddamn fun.
It was, man. I wish we could do it again.
That's why we need to get you on more, get your take on the news. Because, like, right when I picked up the phone and I was like, what's up, Sack? And you're like, what's up, Hoppy? It was, like, amazing, like, in a non-gay way to hear your voice again, because I haven't heard it since January 2013, because we haven't seen each other since then, and we don't Skype because we're not weirdos. So, like, we just talk online and tweet. So, like, it was cool to hear your voice. So that's why I think I want to do, like, Sack. We'll figure out some segment with the name Sack or something, or we'll figure it out, whatever you want to be called.
Yeah.
And how big is your sack?
And I'll do it when I'm sober, too, so the conversation will be much better.
I think you being turned up, as all the cool kids say, made the segment fun, so I wouldn't even worry about it. Now, Sack, before we let you go, what do you want to be? Like, because I want to be in radio, Super Rich wants to be in radio. What is Scott Mosack's goal in life? Because I know back then you wanted a big house, a hot wife. Is that your goal?
Well, that's everybody's goal, but my main goal, after I had my kidney removed...
Oh, yeah. How's that going?
It sucked, but I'm good. I kind of had a realization that I want to help people. So I really, really want to be a firefighter now.
Dude,
so, like,
I respect that.
City, FDNY, I want to be a captain. I want to work in Manhattan or the Bronx. Those neighborhoods right there.
Yeah.
If you're ever in the Bronx or the Manhattan, you see Mosack pull you out, just be like, no way, I heard you on the radio.
Hell yeah. That would be so weird. You see some guy, were you from the Hoppe and Sack show for 6 months in 2012?
I'll be like, no way, you got my reception out here? Yeah. We all listen to it in the Bronx.
Do you ever think we had any listeners? Because I know we have a person listening right now. Like, everyone, like, there is at least one person that listens to WNUR because they have a huge fan base. But, like, do you think we ever had any listeners besides people we knew? Like, oh, let's see what's on WHCM 88.3, which doesn't reach our house.
Oh, God, maybe. I hope so. I mean, we put on a pretty dang good show, except that one time we forgot to go on air and we were just talking.
Or the times I would swear and I'd press the dump button.
Oh, that kid was dumb.
Oh, wait. How did I forget about this? Before we let you go, here's another memory. George Pritchard Harris. I've kept in touch with him. We had that, like, author on and his, like, girlfriend or his friend. Dude, that was awesome. That was, like, a great...
Awesome. He was from, like, Costa Rica. Yeah, we had a guy come in from
He was
Costa
like a lawyer.
Rica on our show. Yeah. It was just, like, out of nowhere. He called in. You were like, okay, we'll have you on the show.
No, here's what happened. He wanted to get on the radio in the area, and he saw that since he's from Barrington, there's one radio place near Barrington. So he sent me an email, can I get on? I'm like, hell yeah, of course. So, like, I meet him. I thought he meant phone interview, and then he's like, I'm right outside. I'm like, oh, awesome. We had him on, dude. It was like an hour of radio just talking about, like, life, dude, because he's like 65 years old, and he's lived life. Dude, that was some fun, badass radio. I'm going to go dig it up from the archives I have on my computer.
Good times, man. Good times.
Well, Sack, drink a lot of water tonight. Just drink a lot of water. Make sure you don't drink too much more, because I don't want you to wake up with a hangover and be annoyed.
I've gotten 3 hours of sleep in the past 2 days. No, just day. I did this Breakfast Club thing, which is crazy. Yeah, it was bad. You know, I gotta go to bed.
Sack, who is going to win? Before we let you go, since our show did the picks every Thursday, will it be the Chicago Bears or those damn Packers?
All right, since I'm a biased Chicago fan, I have to say the Chicago Bears are going to win. They did beat the 49ers, so anything is possible. Even though Brandon Marshall still questionable, or is he?
What is it, Shipwreck? What's the latest?
He's questionable. I'm sure he'll play though.
Okay, yeah. So if he plays, you know, I don't know. This is a really hard one because Packers have been struggling this year a little bit, but I don't know. I want Bears to win so bad, but you never know because with Aaron Rodgers' arm and Jordy Nelson and his other receivers that nobody really cares about, they could pull off anything. So it could go either way. And Charles Tillman's out for the season, so that's bad. But Fuller's been stepping it up like crazy. So he's our main weapon on defense. Oh, God. There's just too many elements to think about, and I'm too drunk to think about them. But I would say Bears win.
What did you drink tonight?
Oh, God. Like
everything?
A lot of Jack.
That's good.
Coronas.
Jesus, you alcoholic.
Heineken. And maybe some, I forgot the name of it, but it was really good.
Wow, dude. Get some sleep and listen right now. I know we're on the air, but I'll give you some advice. Drink a lot of water right now. Drink like 12 cups in a row. Yeah, you'll have to get up to piss at like 4 in the morning, but your hangover will be almost not there. Trust me. When you drink water.
Next week, so I need to drink a lot of water.
Did you eat it all today?
Yeah, I ate. Oh, God, I got noodles on the stove.
Wait, what's up?
I forgot about the noodles I had on the stove.
It's one of those nights.
Oh, God. I got to go get those noodles. So
go eat?
Talking with you guys.
Dude, this was amazing talking to my old co-host, Scott Sack Mosack of the MANCave with Hoppe and Sack from WHCM. Dude, we have to get you on soon, man.
Yeah, for sure. Just text me anytime and I'll come on.
Sounds good. Peace out, Sack.
All right, bye, guys.
Peace out.
This is an official broadcast of Hoppe Radio. For more info, check out hopperadio.com and hoppesworld.com.